Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Right Guys Podcast, where we ask ourselves every day, what just happened? And now your host, Josh Hammerly. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Right Guys Podcast. It is just me solo right now because Max is having a little problem with this thing called the internet, electricity, and a windstorm. So we wish him the best. Well, this one will be a little bit short today. We will be back on Monday to talk about this crazy Fanni Willis stuff, which we're watching this and we're thinking to ourselves, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Like, what just happened? So apparently all she has to do is fire her lover and she still gets to preside on the case. So it'll be very, 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 very short, mostly just like an announcement saying that we won't be able to stick around with you all day just because, let's face it, Max is the mind behind this. I'm just a smiling face that makes it all fun. But since I do have your attention, I do want to ask you one thing. Seeing all this crazy stuff going on in the world, seeing all this crazy stuff from the Dems, what have you done lately to try to convince someone else that they shouldn't be voting Democrat? You know what I mean? Like, too many conservatives just sit there and hide. And when a whole bunch of lefties and liberals start talking about stuff, they just sit there and they take it and they keep their mouths shut. As though we just gotta sit there and take it. Like we gotta listen to the bully. So I'm asking you, what are you doing lately to make sure that you let other people know how to change things, how to get rid of the liberal mindset, how to show evidence that makes what they stand for a little less, more or less, until it's nothing. So that's my big homework for you. What are you doing to go out there and actually, rally the troops behind your cause, our cause, the conservative cause? What have you done? I'd say I could do more. I try to do this show so you guys can see it. I try to come up with cool stuff so we can talk about it. That way you can use it as evidence, or you can use it as weight behind your defenses on liberals. So that's what I want you to do this week. And just go find somebody, talk to them about why what you believe in is so good. Don't go after what they are. Just tell them why conservatism is so awesome, right? And why it works, and why we need strong economies, and why we need a balanced budget, and why we need people at the border to keep illegal immigrants out, why borders are so important. This is basic country stuff. So what are you going to do about it? What is it going to be? Mandy just commented here. I saw someone ended up in a liberal group. I try to have civil conversations with them. It's hard for them to stay civil, though. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Doesn't mean you got to stop. I mean, if they do get angry and attack you, obviously they have no justification for that, right? Their side is so empty. They just know anger, right? And that's all you've got. But at least Mandy's out there trying. What are you doing, right? Why do we keep losing? Why do we keep giving in? Why do we keep giving up? Why do we giving up for so long? Have you guys asked yourselves that? I ask myself that all the time. That's why I told Max we need to be back on the air. We need to get back to the messaging. We need to get back to telling people every day the crazy stuff that liberals are doing and the Democratic Party is just throwing out there. So, yeah, I know I reflect constantly. I'm gonna sit in the mirror this weekend thinking to myself, just staring at it like, what am I going to do? What am I going to say next? How am I going to convince somebody who considers their side to be something like tantamount to a religion? I mean, it's just entirely gross. And the worst part is they label the rest of us as crazy. They label the rest of us as monsters. They label us as racist. They label us as bigots. They label us as homophobic, transphobic, you name it, but we're not. And that message needs to be pumped out there. So take little bits of this clip that you're seeing here and share it with friends. Ask them why, right? Do they like driving their car, which is full of fossil fuels, every day to work? Do they like turning on the lights when you have electricity? I mean, do you like flushing toilets? These are all things made by beautiful Western society, but it's being torn apart by a bunch of liberals who think that socialism and communism is the future. And if that's the case, you really need to self-reflect on who's around you and what's going on. So trying not to be kind of a downer here, but it's a warning, right? It's a warning that we have to we have to hold on to, because they're not holding back. None of them are holding back anymore. Not at all. So it's time for you to not hold back anymore. You need to get out there and spread the message. Do it peacefully, but be strong about it. Be ready for a fight. All right, gang. So this is a really short edition. I just want to thank everybody that did tune in. This is a little bit. We'll be back Monday. Again, Max is out with an electricity problem. So just remember, if you like the show and you want to share it, and you want other people to see it, share it. Download it in your favorite podcasts. You can get audio versions all the time at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeart, Amazon Music, everything. I know there's a lot of you watching right now, and you're all pretty hungry for this, but I'm sorry, we just got to go back to trying to be amazing Americans. So, gang, we'll see you on Monday. Remember that the fight is not over, and the only way we win is if we all stand up and fight together. Have a great day, everybody. This is Josh for the Right Guys Podcast. I will see you next time.